أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة، يا غريب يا شهيد كربلاء، فيا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. On this tragic day, we extend our condolences to the Imam of our time, Al-Imam Al-Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. One of the greatest tragedies, the most difficult tragedies on the Imams of Ahlul Bayt was remembering the journey from Karbala to Sham and back to Karbala. Every time the Imams of Ahlul Bayt would remember this journey and what happened to their aunts, they would break into tears. The sixth Imam, peace be upon him, he was seen in such a difficult situation. The Imam was weeping and crying. When his companion asked him, Ibn Rasulullah, this is not the first time that you, the Ahlul Bayt, go through a trial that is difficult. This is not the first time. Since the day of your uncle Hamza, you've experienced difficulties, tragedies, martyrdoms. Why do I see you in such a sad state? The Imam ﷺ told his companion, have you ever heard before the day of Karbala that any of the women of the Prophet were taken as prisoners of war? Did you ever hear that? This was the first time that our women were humiliated and our women were paraded from one city to the other city. On this day, we offer our condolences to the 12th Imam for this great tragedy. Let's take our hearts now to Sham. See how the family of Ahlul Bayt left the city of Sham on their way to Karbala. The Ahlul Bayt had a very bitter experience in the city of Damascus. They lost one of their jewels in the ruins of Sham, one of the daughters of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. According to some narrations, her name was Ruqayya. She's also known by the name of Sukaina. She was a young daughter for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, about 3 or 4 years old. One night when they were in the ruins of Sham, she fell asleep and she saw her father Imam Hussein in her dream. She had missed her father dearly. It had been 20, 25 days she had not seen her father. Imagine growing up in the house of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, having such a compassionate father. She missed her father dearly, so when she woke up, she broke into tears. I cannot stand this separation. I want my father Hussein. How can I ever live without him? Everyone in the ruins, they began to cry, along with Lady Ruqayya, Lady Sukaina. The evil tyrant Yazid was in his palace. He heard this commotion coming from the ruins. So he asked the guards, what's going on? Why are they crying? Did something happen? They tell him, no, it's nothing serious. One of the daughters of Hussein saw her father in her dream. She woke up crying. She wants her father. Look at the ruthless heart of this man. He said, then what are you waiting for? Take the head of her father Hussein so she can see his severed head. They bring the head of Imam Hussein and they put it in a tray. They cover that tray with a piece of cloth. They come to those ruins and they put this tray before the daughter of Imam Hussein. She was puzzled. She said, what is this? I didn't ask for anything. What's in this tray? They tell her, remove the cover. This is what you've been asking for. This is what you're looking for. Remove the cover and see. She approaches with her small hands. She removes the cover from that tray. And she is shocked to see for the first time, so close, seeing the severed head of her father Hussein. She collapses on the head of her father. And she says, Aba ya Hussein, man alladhi hazza waridak. Father Hussein, who is the one who dared to sever your head? Then she saw the blood-stained beard of Abu Abdullah. And she said, Father Hussein, who is the one who stained your beard with blood? Father Hussein, who is the one who made me an orphan at such a young age? She began to cry while embracing the head of her father Hussein, until moments later she became quiet and her voice was no longer heard. The people in the ruins, the family of Ahl al-Bayt, the women and the children, they thought that maybe she was sleeping now, she was resting, she was fatigued and tired. At that point, Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he looked at his aunt Zainab and he said, my dear aunt, lift the body of my sister from the head of my father, for I swear by Allah, her soul just now departed. She could not handle the sight of embracing the severed head of our father. They lifted her young small body from the head of Imam Hussein and they bury her in Sham. But look at the plan of Allah. Yazid and Muawiyah are long gone, but this noble daughter of Imam Hussein, 14 centuries later, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed her with a shrine. Millions of people throughout from around the world, they go and they pay their respects to her blessed shrine. But you can see the bitter experiences of the Ahl al-Bayt. They bury the daughter of Imam Hussein in the land of Sham. Then finally Yazid gives them the permission to leave and go back to the city of Medina. Now look at the audacity of this evil man. He approached Kulthum and he had the caravans arranged. And he told her, oh Kulthum, I want to give you a big sum of money. You went through this tragedy. Hussein has been killed. Abbas has been killed. I want to compensate you by giving you gold, silver, money. Kulthum at that point, she tells him, shame on you, O Yazid. You commit this tragedy. You kill Abu Abdullah al-Hussein and you want to satisfy us with some money? I swear by Allah, I will not take any of your money. Then the women and the children, they gather and they go on that caravan riding on the camels, and the heads of the martyrs were with them. And they were carrying the heads because Imam Zayn al-Abidin made a request from Yazid. Two requests. One of them is to allow them to go back to Medina. The second request, give us the heads of Imam al-Hussein and his companions. We want to bury them. Give it back to us. Yazid, due to pressure that was growing on him from the people, he conceded and he gave the heads back to them. They were now carrying the heads. The one who was leading the caravan on behalf of Yazid was a man by the name of Nu'man ibn Bashir. As they cut across the desert, they reached a point where now you had two roads ahead of you. And Nu'man ibn Bashir tells Imam Zayn al-Abidin, or Ali ibn al-Hussein, we have reached an important intersection. If we take the right route, we will go to Medina. But if you want, we can take the left route. It will take us to Iraq, to Karbala. Where do you want to go? Imam Zayn al-Abidin asks his Aunt Zainab, my dear Aunt Zainab, we've reached this intersection. Where do you want to go? Shall we go to Medina or to Karbala? And she says, Ya ibna akhi, my dear nephew, قل للدليل يمر على مصارع قتلانا. Tell him, the one who's guiding the caravan, I miss my brother Hussein and the grave of my brother Hussein. Tell him no, if it's possible, let him take us to Karbala first. Let us renew our visitation and allegiance with those graves. And we have the heads back with us. Let us bury those heads by those graves. So tell him to take us back to Karbala, then we'll go to Medina. So now the caravan of the Imam alayhi salam approaches the land of Karbala. Imagine the women and the children. They were carrying those bitter experiences. Now they remembered the day they arrived in the land of Karbala with their guardians, with their protectors. Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas was guarding them. They remembered those scenes, and then they remembered the tragedy of what happened on the day of Ashura. When they came inside Karbala by the graves, as for Lady Zainab, when her eyes fell on the grave of Hussein, she could not hold herself back, and she fell from the camel on the ground. And she was yelling, Habibi Hussein. She then remembered her grandfather. Assalamu alayka ya Rasul Allah. Salla alayka Malik as-Sama. Oh Rasulullah, may Allah accept this qurban, the sacrifice of your grandson Hussein. And then she began to say, Al-yawm mata jaddi. Today it's as if I can feel my grandfather died. Today my father Ali ibn Abi Talib died. Today my mother Fatima died. It's as if I lost all of them by losing you, O Hussein. Because you were the fifth of Ashab al-Kisa. When you left, it's as if they all departed us. One historian states, Lady Zainab, when she walked to the grave of Hussein, she was carrying something under her abba, under her cloak, hiding something. The people were puzzled, those who were bystanding there, the bystanders. What is she doing? What is she carrying under her cloak? They observed that when she got to the grave of Hussein, she took the head of Aba Abdullah from her cloak and she put it on the grave. And it's as if she told him, Aba Abdullah, I brought back your head from Sham. And Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, he had those heads buried in those graves. So the head of Imam Hussein, even though it was paraded for 40 days from one village to another village, but eventually Imam Zayn al-Abidin made sure that the head of Imam Hussein is buried back in his original grave. The women and the children, imagine that scene in Karbala, standing by one grave to another grave, telling them about the journey of Sham. Do you know what happened to us in Sham? What did they do to us on the way? How they held us as captives. And then after a while, Lady Zainab was standing, looking towards the river, trying to find something. Imam Zain al-Abidin asked her aunt, what are you looking for? And she told him, my dear nephew, get up and show me the grave of Abbas. I want to know, I want to know. Now go to the grave of Abul Fadl al-Abbas. Imagine Zainab walking towards the grave of her guardian and protector, Abul Fadl al-Abbas. She broke into tears. For 3 days, the women and the children stayed in Karbala, farewelling those graves. On the 3rd day, Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam told them, let's now get ready to depart and go back to Medina. One man came to Imam Zain al-Abidin. He told him, oh Imam, don't you see these women and children, they still want to spend more time here. Why are you in a rush to go back to Medina? Let them spend more time with these graves. Imam Zain al-Abidin responded, he said, I am afraid for the life of my Aunt Zainab. For 3 days non-stop, she sits by a grave, she stands up and goes and visits another grave. And I'm just afraid this is too much for her. It's best that we now leave the land of Karbala. So they now farewell those graves, and the caravan of Imam Hussein alayhi salam is ready to depart the land of Karbala. Then they go south to the city of Medina. Right before they approach the city of Medina, Imam Zain al-Abidin meets a man by the name of Bishr ibn Hadlam. The Imam tells him, oh Bishr, your father was a famous poet. Can you recite some lines of poetry eulogizing my father Hussein? He said, yes, I will do that. He came to the city of Medina. When he entered the city of Medina, this poet said, Ya ahla Yathrib la muqama lakum biha. Oh people of Yathrib, gather. How can you live in Yathrib anymore? People did not know. Many of them had not heard the news. What happened? Many people still did not know about the whereabouts of the caravan of Imam Hussein and the fate of Imam Hussein. They told him, Bish, what announcement are you making? Why we can no longer live in Yathrib? He said, come to the masjid of the Prophet. I'll make the announcement there. All the people of Medina, they gather by the mosque of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. When they all gather, Bishr ibn Hadlam breaks the news to them. Ya ahla Yathrib la muqama lakum biha. قتل الحسين فأدمعي مدرار. Hussein has been killed, oh the people of Yathrib, the people of Medina, and my eyes rain down in tears. الجسم منه بكربلاء مضرج والرأس منه على القناة يدار. Let me tell you some specifics, O people of Medina. His body lay in Karbala for 40 days, and his head was paraded on a spear from one city to another city. The people of Medina, they break into tears. How is this possible that this happens to the grandson of Rasulullah, the grandson of the one who's buried in this masjid? Yes, after that, there was a lady by the name of al-Banin. She heard people crying. What happened? Why are people crying? They told her, al-Banin, you did not hear the announcement? She said, which announcement? Bishr ibn Hadlam, he just told us an announcement. She said, no, I didn't hear it well. What happened? So she walked up to him. She told him, oh Bishr, what news did you bring? I missed it. He told her, who are you? She said, I am al-Banin, the mother of Abbas. He told her, Ya Amat Allah, O servant of Allah, my condolences to you. Let me tell you that your son Ja'far has been killed in Karbala. Your son Abdullah has been killed in Karbala. She was holding one of the children of Abul Fadl al-Abbas, a small child to al-Abbas. She told him, Bish, I'm not asking you about my sons. Tell me about Hussein. What happened to my beloved son Hussein? He told her, Ya Amat Allah, عظم الله لك الأجر بولدك العباس. Let me tell you, your son Abbas has also been martyred. When she heard the word Abbas, she collapsed to the ground. Then she stood up. She told him, you're breaking my heart into pieces. I'm asking you about Hussein. Tell me what happened to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Then Bishr ibn Hadlayam, he breaks the news to her. At that time, the caravan of Imam Hussein was entering. Yes, but Lady Zainab, she had mixed feelings. This is the land of her grandfather. When she was in Karbala and Imam Zain al-Abidin told her, let's go to Medina, you know what she said? She said, who do I have left in Medina? What do I go back to in Medina? So as they were entering the city of Medina, Kulthum, she addressed the city and she said, Madinatu jaddina la taqbalina. Oh, the city of our grandfather, how are you going to accept us now? We've come with a great tragedy. When we left you, Medina, we left with our men, with our guardians, Hussein with us. But now that we come back, none of those guardians are with us. Imagine the state of Ahl al-Bayt in the city of Medina. Imagine Imam Zain al-Abidin when he entered the room of his father Hussein. He looked at the room of his father Hussein empty. He could not control himself. He looked at the mihrab of Imam Hussein where he would pray. And he spoke to the mihrab. He said, oh mihrab of Abu Abdullah, how are you now that you are empty and Hussein is no longer with us? As for the wife of Imam Hussein, Rabab, you know what she did? She had made an oath that after Karbala, because the body of Imam Hussein lay 3 days under the sun, she would never sit under the shade. She would always sit under the hot sun of Medina to sympathize with the tragedy of Imam Hussein. One day a man came to visit the fourth Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. He noticed that there's a lady in the courtyard sitting under the sun. The man, he thought that she was a maid working in the house of the Imam and she did something wrong, and Imam Zain al-Abidin was punishing her by telling her to sit under the sun. So he speaks to Imam Zain al-Abidin. He tells him, oh my master, why don't you forgive her? I don't know what she did, but this punishment is severe. Don't you see the hot sun? Please forgive her and tell her to sit in the shade. Imam Zain al-Abidin tells him, oh man, this is not our maid. This is Rabab, the wife of my father Hussein. She took an oath never to sit under the shade. And for an entire year now, she sits under the hot sun. And she says, how can I not sit under the sun? When Imam Hussein lay under the sun in the hot plains of Karbala. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا آل محمد أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. Let's pay our salutations to Imam Hussein and his family. Everyone with one voice together. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى